CPN Maoist Center Chairperson Pushpa Kamal Dahal, who has been appointed the Prime Minister with the backing of 7 parties and 3 independent parliamentarians, has major challenges ahead as the parties in the coalition have contrasting ideologies, principles and agendas. With the position of the premiership being settled, all eyes are now on who will become the next president and the Speaker of the House of Representatives. Good morning, I'm Abheudaya Shrestha, and these are the headlines of the hour. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal takes the oath of office and secrecy, assumes office yesterday itself. An 8-member mini-cabinet formed with 3 deputy prime ministers. A galore of challenges await newly appointed Premier Dahal. Management of parties with differing political ideologies, reeling economy and conflict-era cases expected to be tough for the Premier. China announces its requirement for travelers arriving in the country to go into quarantine will end on 8th of January. And English Premier League leaders Arsenal defeat West Ham 3-1 to extend their lead by 7 points against closest rivals Newcastle. Liverpool also take care of Aston Villa 3-1. Newly appointed Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal has assumed office in Singhdarbar after being administered the oath of office and secrecy by President Bidyadevi Bhandari yesterday. 3 deputy prime ministers and 4 ministers have also administered their oath at the president's residence in Shital Niwas, Maharajganj. Vishnu Paudel of CPN UML, Naran Kaji Shrestha of CPN Maoist Center and Ravi Lamichhane of Rashtriya Swatantra Party have been appointed deputy prime ministers. Paudel is also the Minister for Finance, Shrestha is the Minister for Fiscal Infrastructures, while Lamichhane is the new Minister for Home Affairs. Meanwhile, Damodar Bhandari, Rajendra Rai and Jwala Kumari Shah of CPN UML, along with Abdul Khan of Janmath Party, have been appointed the ministers. However, they are yet to be assigned their portfolios. The Prime Minister and the Deputy Prime Ministers have all assumed their offices yesterday itself. The first meeting of the Cabinet of Ministers led by new Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal has decided that it would resolve the problems the public are facing regarding the issuance of passports. After taking the oath of office and secrecy yesterday, the first cabinet meeting was held at Singhdarbar. Speaking to the media after the meeting, Prime Minister Dahal said that the government would resolve the issue of passport.
र हामीले यो बैठकमा पनि सबभन्दा पहिलो कुरा त नेपालको अर्थतन्त्रको स्थिति जसरी जटिल र चुनौतीपूर्ण दिशातिर छ त्यसलाई सुधार्ने प्रभावकारी उपायमा केन्द्रित भएर अगाडि बढ्ने कुरा सुशासनतिर चाहिँ गम्भीर ढंगले अगाडि बढ्ने कुरा र जनताले ठाउँ ठाउँमा पाइरहेका शास्ति र दुखहरूलाई कम गराउने बारे जस्तो यो राहदानी सम्बन्धी या चाहिँ पासपोर्ट के उ सम्बन्धी लाइसेन्स सम्बन्धी इत्यादि विषयमा लामा लामा लाइन र पीडा जो देखिएको छ त्यो विषयमा केन्द्रित भएर हामीले समय भित्रै यसलाई नियन्त्रण गर्ने या यसलाई प्रभावकारी ढंगले जनतालाई सेवा दिने किसिममा हामी केन्द्रित भएका छौं। साथसाथै हामीले अब प्रतिनिधि सभाको बैठक बोलाउने बारेमा पनि निर्णय गरेका छौं। हामीले अब गम्भीर रूपले देशका अगाडि रहेका जनताका समस्याहरूलाई सम्बोधन गर्न केन्द्रित हुने संकल्प गरेका छौं।
After taking the oath of office and secrecy from President Bhandari at around 4 yesterday afternoon, Prime Minister Dahal assumed office at Singhdarbar at around 8 p.m. yesterday evening. The first meeting of the Cabinet of Ministers also decided that it would send a proposal to the President to call the session of the Parliament around the second week of January. Prime Minister Pushpa Kamal Dahal has stated that he will hold discussions with the ruling coalition parties and give full shape to the cabinet at the earliest. Speaking to our correspondent at his residence in Kumaltar, Lalitpur this morning, Premier Dahal said that a full-shape cabinet will be formed soon by including all community members of the society. After being appointed as the Prime Minister, crowds of well-wishers were seen at Dahal's residence in Kumaltar from early this morning. Parties, parliamentarians, leaders, cadres, heads of security institutions, among others, were seen at Dahal's residence this morning. Appointed the Prime Minister with the support of 7 political parties and independent members of the House of Representatives, CPN Maoist Center Chairperson Pushpa Kamal Dahal faces several challenges ahead. Dahal, who has previously served as the Prime Minister on 2 occasions, had been acknowledging that he had failed to deliver during the 2 previous short terms, while claiming that he would make memorable contributions if the opportunity arrived again. The opportunity has certainly arrived for Dahal, who is now the executive head of the nation yet again. CPN Maoist Center Chair Dahal, who is known for trying new things in politics, has become the Prime Minister of Nepal for the 3rd time with a new tactic. He has been appointed the Premier with the backing of 7 parties and 3 independent parliamentarians. However, agendas of the parties supporting him are at sharp contrasts. In addition to that, despite being the 3rd largest party at the House of Representatives, Dahal's party CPN Maoist Center has only 32 parliamentarians, but has generated the support of 169 lawmakers. CPN-UML has 78 parliamentarians alone. Despite leading the government, Dahal will be compelled to follow the agendas of other parties in the ruling coalition, including CPN-UML. In addition to the political context, Dahal will face several other challenges, including the impact of the global economic condition with the rising inflation and looming crisis. Problem of unemployment, issues of the agriculture sector, increasing trade deficit and protests of business persons and industrialists are other challenges facing Dahal. Meanwhile, balancing the relationship between international power centers will be another major task and challenge for Dahal. Interests of India, China, and the United States of America are increasing in Nepal. In this context, Nepal's diplomatic ties and approaches need to be well calculated and mature. Despite CPN Maoist Center being a member of several governments, the peace process is yet to be concluded. At a time when the international community has been keenly observing Nepal's peace process, Prime Minister Dahal can conclude it and ensure justice for the victims and survivors of the armed conflict insurgency era. For this, Dahal faces a tough road ahead to ensure political consensus, as the other party in the new coalition, CPN-UML, had obstructed the procedure for the formation of laws related to truth and reconciliation. CPN Maoist Center Chairperson Pushpa Kamal Dahal has formed a government with the support of 6 other parties. However, the parties in the new ruling coalition have contrasting ideologies, principles, and agendas. Therefore, the path ahead for Dahal appears to be the one with complications, as the parties in the current alliance have been polarized on several constitutional arrangements. Addressing the 14th General Convention of Nepali Congress, Rashtriya Prajatantra Party Chairperson Rajendra Lingden had said that people across the country had begun considering political leaders as thieves. In response, CPN-UML Chairperson KP Sharma Oli had then aired a sarcastic remark against Lingden. CPN Maoist Center Chair Dahal had also expressed his concern towards Lingden's statement. These leaders, who have been issuing statements against each other at public forums, have now come together. After failing to reach a consensus with Nepali Congress on power share, Dahal, who broke up the previous coalition relationship, was supported by CPN-UML, Rashtriya Swatantra Party, Rashtriya Prajatantra Party, Janata Samajwadi Party, Janmat Party, and Nagarik Unmukti Party. These parties have differing backgrounds and principles and have also remained polarized on issues including constitution, republicanism, federalism, secularism, inclusive proportionate representation, and citizenship. Demand of assessing federalism and secularism has begun surfacing in CPN-UML, while CPN Maoist Center has been claiming republicanism and federalism as the achievements of the party's struggle. Rashtriya Prajatantra Party has been voicing for monarchy and a Hindu state, while Rashtriya Swatantra Party has been demanding the scrapping of provincial structures, and Janata Samajwadi Party has been calling for empowering provincial structures with adequate authorities. C.K. Raut, who once was termed as a secessionist for his idea of recognizing Madhesh as a separate country, and Unmukti Party, which was formed on the foundation of protests for the identity of Tharus, are also in the current ruling coalition. CPN-UML, which was against the ordinance for the release of Resham Chaudhary, is in the government alongside Rashtriya Swatantra Party and Unmukti Party. It is therefore a serious challenge for Dahal to proceed by keeping the unity among these diverse parties intact. In such a situation, it remains to be seen if these parties with contrasting backgrounds sustain their unity to ensure an effective operation of the government and the parliament. Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Finance Vishnu Prasad Paudel has said that he will proceed by considering the recommendations of experts to give an outlet to the struggling national economy. Assuming his office in Singhdarbar yesterday, Minister Paudel expressed the commitment of reducing the current expenditure and unnecessary government expenditure, saying that the government was committed to identify and address the existing problems of the economy. Minister Paudel assured that citizens should not be worried about Nepal's economic status. Chairperson of Rashtriya Swatantra Party, Ravi Lamichhane, has been appointed the Deputy Prime Minister and the Minister for Home Affairs within 6 months of forming a new political party. Lamichhane, who formed the Rashtriya Swatantra Party 6 months ago as an alternative to old and mainstream political parties, has joined the government with the traditional parties as the Deputy Prime Minister and Home Minister. Lamichhane, who was a popular media person, came into the limelight in the political arena in a short period of time. While Lamichhane's rise has been meteoric, the position he holds in the government is equally significant. However, a case against him is in progress in the same ministry. Questions have surfaced if the Minister for Home Affairs, who has been drawn into controversies related to citizenship and passport, can effectively shoulder the responsibility of ensuring peace and security of the entire nation. At a time when a case is ongoing at the Supreme Court regarding his citizenship and passport, the police are also carrying out investigation on the complaint filed at the Home Ministry. The citizenship number indicated in his voter ID card is the number of his citizenship before he went to the United States. When he became a U.S. citizen, his Nepali citizenship was automatically cancelled. It has come to the fore that Lamichhane was holding the passports of both the countries at the same time. He had used the old citizenship number to make his Nepali passport in 2015, while the validity of his U.S. passport is from 2014 to 2024. Lamichhane, who had been raising questions on the political intervention in Nepal police, internal good governance, rape, murder, gold smuggling, among others, will now have to take the responsibility on these issues. In our Public Voice segment, we had asked people in several provinces what their suggestion is to the parties for political stability in the country. Let's take a look at what they had to say.
Public Voice.
अर्कै खालको चाहिँ नि गठबन्धन भएको छ त्यसमा अब के चाहिँ नि सहमति गरेका छन् नेताहरूले त्यसलाई सहमतिलाई चाहिँ नि कार्यान्वयनमा ल्याउने हो भने दिगो जान्छ
अहिलेको जुन व्यवस्थापिका संसदको जुन स्वरूप छ यो स्वरूपमा प्रधानमन्त्री दुई कार्यकाल भन्दा तेस्रो कार्यकाल बन्न नपाउने र प्रत्यक्ष प्रधानमन्त्री चुनिने व्यवस्था हुनुपर्छ
आपसी सहयोग हुनुपर्छ हैन मिलेर दुईटा बने पनि मिलेर राख्नुपर्छ हैन देशको विकास हुनुपर्छ
देशलाई चाहिँ एउटा नयाँ निकास दियोस् भन्ने हामी सबैको चाहना हो
विवादमा नपरिकन एकीकरण भएर काम गरिदिए
इमानदारी पूर्वक नेपाल देशको लागि काम गर्दिनु पर्यो
राजनीतिक दल जुन किसिमले अगाडि बढिरहेको छ त्यो दलको केन्द्रीय नेताहरू सुध्रिन जरुरी छ
It's time now for our segment Public Pulse, where you text us with your opinion.
Public Pulse.
Here's the question. What should the government do to address the issues of the country's reeling economy? Your options are A, good governance and reduce expenses, B, ensure a conducive business environment, and C, take private sector in confidence. The voting is on. Type NEWS, select your option A, B, or C, and send it to 34001 to share your opinion with us. That's all for the moment. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.